Well, this morning, the city of Baltimore is trying to clean up after rioters took over. We'll have the latest on what lawmakers there are trying to do or to restore the calm there.
Some of them are high school kids. Look at this. One rioter got a lesson he won't soon forget from his mother. Her actions got the stamp of approval from the head of the police department.
Here locally, a family is searching for a child missing for hours. We'll have a live report from Kathy Quinn coming up.
Traffic conditions can change in a minute. We're in the heaviest part of the drive-in. Fox 4 News at 7 starts right now.
From the station that's working for you, you're watching Fox 4 News at 7 a.m.
Hey, good to have you with us on this Tuesday in Kansas City. I'm Mark Alford.
Good morning. I'm Lauren Halifax.
How's traffic looking?
Pretty good. We had a shot of the Kansas side, and it's really starting to slow inbound on I-35. We'll head to Missouri's busiest highway coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Good deal.
Weather-wise, couldn't be nicer. I'm getting some of the most beautiful sunrise photos coming in, so keep them coming, guys. I'm going to have some of those coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Share those with you on the Book of Faces and Twitter. 41, not 20. Oh, that'd be way too cold. 41 in Gladstone, along with Longview Lake and Baser. 38 in Lansing. 44 Platte City. You travel a little further south. Raytown's at 49 degrees. Stanley at 48, along with Overland Park. A little bit of cloud cover in place this morning. It's not a huge deal, and it's going to turn out to be a beautiful rest of your Tuesday. We'll be climbing out of the 40s into the 50s later this morning. By lunchtime, we'll be approaching the mid-60s in some spots, and by the end of the day, we'll be topping out in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. It looks fantastic for your Tuesday forecast, and it's going to get even warmer. We'll have more on the warming trend in just a moment.
Well, a family is asking for your help this morning finding a missing 9-year-old boy with special needs.
This is right here in the metro. Sir Anthony Wright disappeared yesterday afternoon on his way home from school. Fox 4's Kathy Quinn's live at 56th and Swope Parkway in Kansas City with the latest.
Yeah, this is where he was last seen yesterday afternoon. Now, according to the police, they are following some leads. They believe he could be with some friends. His grandmother says that she's concerned. He's run away before, and at that time he was gone a couple of days. But this is where he was last seen, 56th and Swope Parkway, Monday afternoon about 3:30. 9-year-old Sir Anthony Wright refused to get on the school bus at his school at Nova Center. He was put into a cab but jumped out here at 56th and Swope Parkway. His grandmother says she's concerned because he has special needs and also he has behavioral issues.
We need to hurry up and find him because his life and the public is in danger. He's 9 years old and he got special needs.
All right, and he was last seen wearing his school uniform, including khaki pants and a red backpack. If you have any information that will help in this case, call the TIPS hotline, 816-474-TIPS. Kathy Quinn, Fox 4 News, working for you.
This is one of our darkest days as a city, and I know that we're much better than this. We know that the world is watching, and we cannot allow our city to devolve into chaos because of a small group of criminals that are moving throughout our city.
Mayor also called them thugs at one point.
Yeah, that's the mayor of Baltimore. They're trying to restore calm there after hours of riots, fires, and looting overnight.
Yeah, the streets of Maryland's largest cities are now patrolled by the National Guard. The governor declared a state of emergency. At least 15 police officers got hurt, 6 of them seriously. Police arrested more than 24 people. Hours after the funeral for Freddie Gray, rioters torched buildings and police cars. They also threw things at police, large chunks of concrete and rocks. In addition, the National Guard, 500 state troopers and officers from neighboring states are headed to Baltimore. A week-long daily curfew begins later tonight, all trying to stop the violence. Some residents say they are devastated by what's happening.
It's very heartbreaking. It's very upsetting. We as ministers, elders, and everything, we come together and we're coming to meet with the young people on the street.
Officials say this sudden surge in violence could be related to rival gangs working in concert to take out police officers.
Check out this video. A mother went on the attack when she caught her son taking part in the Baltimore riots. Grabbed him, slapped him around the head after she caught him throwing rocks at police officers. The Baltimore police commissioner applauded the woman. He said more parents should do something similar.
And if you saw on one scene, you had one mother who grabbed their child who had a hood on his head, and she started smacking him on the head because she was so embarrassed. I wish I had more parents that took charge of the kids out there.
The video of the incident's going viral.
Also in Baltimore, a Vietnam veteran showed his support for police. Robert Valentine went out into the streets and yelled for troublemakers to go home. Valentine says he served 30 years in the military. He says he has a message for those destroying his city.
This right here is not relevant. They need to have their butts at home. They need to be in their home units with their families studying and doing something with their life. Not out here protesting about something that's not really about nothing. They do not respect this young man's death.
Freddie Gray's family agrees. Late yesterday, on the same day as his funeral, they condemned the violence that left businesses looted and burned to the ground. Gray died earlier this month while in police custody from a spinal injury. More than 4,400 people are now confirmed dead. Thousands are hurt after that earthquake in Nepal. 8 million people in that country are affected. Among the dead are 4 U.S. citizens. Officials expect the number of dead to keep going up as they find more bodies. Rescue workers still have not reached some remote communities there. Across Nepal, hundreds of thousands of people are living out in the open. They're fearful for going back inside buildings. They don't have clean water or sanitation. At Kathmandu's small airport, there's a lot of relief flights, and that's created a big backup there on the tarmac. An earthquake with a magnitude 7.8 hit Nepal over the weekend.
Helicopter rescues are underway right now to try to help climbers who are stranded on Mount Everest. The climbers got stuck after a deadly avalanche crashed into the base camp at Everest Saturday. Those people cannot head down because of the aftershocks. Hundreds of climbers are stranded up there. 17 people died from the avalanche just on Mount Everest, and officials believe the number may go up. Power traffic now. Here's Nick.
Well, we are watching something that has the potential to back things up, and well, that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Westbound 435, just past Quivira, is where we have a fender bender where a couple of cars got together. You'll notice it's right in the middle of a construction zone, so any activity here will really slow the south side. Westbound 435 now slow from almost 69 Highway over to Quivira because of this little fender bender here on the right shoulder. On the Missouri side, also southbound 435, we are looking for a stalled car a little bit past I-70. Looks like motorist assist took care of that guy or gal, and back up on the road, that's 3 drivers that motorist assist has helped this morning. I think those guys are having a good day. Nick Vassals, Fox 4 Power Traffic.
Well, this could finally put an end to the debate. The Supreme Court's going to take on the same-sex marriage case once again. We'll tell you what's happening in the high court today.
Some Liberty High School students are in big trouble. It's a sexting scandal, sharing nude photos of classmates. What kind of legal problems could they face? 7:07, you're watching Fox 4. Welcome back, 7:10. Now, new this morning, the captain of that South Korean ferry that sank is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He may be sorry that he appealed. The appellate court handed down a sentence today for him, and it's a tougher, harsher penalty than the 36-year sentence he originally got back in November. Life in prison. A court spokesperson said his sentence was increased because the court convicted him on homicide charges when he appealed. Back in November, he was acquitted of homicide. The 16th of this month marks a year since that ferry sank with more than 300 people on it. Most of the victims were teachers and students on a school trip. Officials say the captain abandoned the sinking ferry and left the passengers to die. The U.S. Supreme Court takes up the issue of same-sex marriage today. Justices are hearing arguments in a case out of Ohio. The issue is not only whether same-sex couples have the constitutional right to marry, but do other states have to recognize those gay marriages if they are banned in their state? A decision by the court 2 years ago upheld gay couples' right to marry, but it didn't require states to recognize marriages that were performed in other states where gay marriage is legal. Opponents argue states have their right to set their own rules for marriage. The court should render its decision in this landmark case by June or July. Police are investigating a nude photo sexting scandal happening at Liberty High School. So far, they haven't charged any of the teenagers, and a local attorney says he doesn't think they ever will. Eric Vernon specializes in juvenile law. He's not directly involved in this case, but he said it'd be tough to prosecute any of these teens for child pornography. He says under Missouri law, child porn typically involves not only a naked underage person, but some type of sexual conduct or sexual contact. He said obscenity laws are more vague, so someone posing naked would have to be clearly sexual in order for it to be considered porn. Vernon says technology's made it much easier for things like this to happen.
Used to be, back when I was a kid, you know, you had to take your film to the drugstore or the film store to get developed. And then there was some human being that would actually see what it was that you were having developed before you could even give it to somebody else.
Nearly 80% of almost 3,000 people who responded to our online poll believe everybody involved should be suspended. The boys involved have been suspended, but not the girls. Vernon agrees, and it says the girls who allegedly took the photos and sent them out are just as guilty. The Clay County Juvenile Law. Katie?
Boonville, Missouri is home to so much history, from the Katy Trail to sites associated with the Civil War to Jesse James. A Fox 4 Daycation. We're giving you the grand tour coming up. Stick around.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo?
Well, we'll have to ask Katie Farrell if that's the Chattanooga choo-choo, or at least a portion of it. We've got our Fox 4 Daycations, and we are live in Boonville, Missouri this morning. I can't wait to hear from Katie coming up. Hey, we'll tackle that morning drive, not on the rails, but on the pavement. Carly is updating what's happening above. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Nick. It's looking pretty good outside. In fact, if we take a peek at our Twitter feeds and our Facebook feeds, sunrise photos popping up everywhere. This one was coming in from Jamie Taylor. Beautiful start to the day in Overland Park. I sent a tweet out on that one, and Facebook also had quite a few photos to share as well. Look at this one from Odessa. Carly, thank you for sharing that photo, and a beautiful start in Adrian as well. Jesse sent that one in. Sun coming up over the horizon. I love it when you get the little trees, silhouettes there. So fantastic photos coming in this morning. Thanks for sharing, everybody. And tell you what, as you head out the door, it's going to be a little cool. 41 right now in St. Joe and Topeka, 46 Chanute, 39 down towards the lakes, and our viewers chiming in mainly in the 40s this round at least. Paul and Tonganoxie 44, 45 for Mike and Lee's Summit, Melody and Smithville 47, and Ron and Grain Valley at 42 degrees. Still dealing with this pesky storm down to our south. For us here locally, the only thing we really have to worry about is just a few clouds here and there. That'll be it for today. Not expecting rain in our forecast. Tomorrow, we'll be watching a little system push through, and it may spark off a stray shower or two. Morning looks great. Afternoon, let's say 2, 3 o'clock, maybe an isolated shower or two showing up on either side of the state line. Most of us will stay dry, so I kept rain out of the forecast for tomorrow. In fact, we'll be warming up into the low 70s tomorrow. Stay in the low 70s for Thursday, and then finally make it up into the upper 70s and even 80s as we head towards the weekend. Quiet weather here. Early next week might be a different story. We'll talk more about that coming up, but it has been stormy the last couple of days around the nation. And for more on the latest round of storms, here's Michelle.
Yes, especially in the deep south, Carly. Strong winds caused problems for people in Louisiana. And this morning, some people still looking for a place to go. This is the scene from Crowley, Louisiana. It's about 2.5 hours west of New Orleans. Strong winds uprooted large trees in the area. Some fell onto houses and cars. There were even 2 tornadoes reported with the storms as they moved through. The storms will continue heading east into the Florida Panhandle today. And check this video out. This is incredible. High winds pushed a train off of a bridge in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. The train crash was caught on camera. 4 cars fell off the bridge. The rail cars were empty. No injuries reported. The winds were gusting up and above 70 miles per hour. That storm knocked out power also to more than 30,000 people in the area at one point in time. And that's a look at some of your weather headlines from around the country. Let's get a check on traffic now. Here's Nick.
Well, good morning, Michelle. 7:18, and this is a live look at the Johnson County Gateway Project, westbound 435 past Quivira. Whenever there happens to be anything going on here in the project here, first responders here, as well as crew members here of their ears go up here. And we had a little fender bender here, but they made very quick work of it and got it out of any lanes of traffic because it doesn't take much to really slow this section down. We'll go into the backup here. We'll show you that the earlier fender bender we had did back things up to 69 Highway in the Johnson County Gateway Project. The accident was down right about this location, so really stacked things up. Rest of the drive, you guys, is not too bad. Since they've just cleared that, we're accident-free, and travel times across the metro, including the Kansas side, are in the green for you northbound on I-35. Nick Vasquez, Fox 4 Power Traffic.
All right. Hey, if you need a little vacation, but you're short on time and money, there are some options for you.
You can take a daycation. We found some unique destinations that aren't that far, maybe an hour and a half or so from the metro. Fox 4's Katie Farrell's working for you this morning in Boonville. She's got more on the Katy Trail.
Good morning. We are here at the historic Katy Depot, built in 1911. This is one of 4 depots left on the Katy Trail. And you know, we're going into summer. The big thing the parents are asking is, what am I going to do with my kids? Why not take them on a Fox 4 daycation? To tell us more about the depot and the beautiful Katy Trail is Katie Gibson, the Boonville Tourism Director. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
This is a 240-mile-long trail. Starts in Mawkins, ends in Clinton. That's one of the reasons this is so unique.
It is. It's the second longest rails to trails conversion. It's really unique because it is so level. It's any novice or advanced rider can do it if you want to do just chunks of it or do the entire trail. The average age of rider on the trail is 51. So yeah. I see young kids all the way up to, there was a 92-year-old woman riding the trail last year.
And I love the fact that it used to be a railroad. That's part of the reason why it's so flat. You're telling me that the rails are still buried under the trail?
That's correct. The rails are still buried underneath a crushed limestone bedding, so it's very easy to ride for anyone.
People also love the trail because you can stop, you can eat, you can drink. There's so much to see, especially here in Boonville.
That's right. Boonville is a great stopping point along the way. We have so many amenities along the trail, and there's a lot of activities and great things to do here in Boonville, from Warm Springs Ranch, the home of the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales, with Isle Capri Casino. We have lots of historic, beautiful homes and sites and structures, over 450 sites and structures on the National Historic Register.
Wow. And what are some of your must-sees? I mean, we're talking about sites associated with the Civil War, with Jesse James.
That's right. We have, the area was first settled with Lewis and Clark stopped in through here. Daniel Boone came through, and his 2 sons settled to Salt Lick, just on the other side of the river, nicknaming the area the Boone Slick. It brought in a lot of early settlers into the early 1800s, and Boonville was settled by Hannah Cole and her 9 children. They're the first ones to settle on this side of the river. You know, like you said, we've got lots of Civil War history, riverboat history, the train history, tons of sites to see in town, and, you know, we've got new museums popping up. We have a new Mitchell Antique Car Museum that just opened up.
We are going to show our viewers that coming up at the 9 o'clock hour. We want to take a look behind you, Katie. That is the Katy Trail Trailhead here in Boonville. Again, a small town full of charm with so much to do. We're going to talk more with Katie and show you more of historic Boonville coming up throughout the morning. The first of 4 Fox 4 daycations. A great place to take the family. Katie Farrell, Fox 4 News, working for you live in Boonville. Back to you.
It looks like a lot of fun, a beautiful town.
Thanks, Katie.
Absolutely.
Okay, a local mom is worried about her daughter's safety, and she's concerned about alarming messages coming in on her school-issued iPad.
And the man who's now in charge, at least temporarily, of the Kansas City St. Joseph Catholic Diocese opens up and talks about the task ahead of him. It's 7:22. Here are your school lunches this morning. You can find them anytime online, fox4kc.com/lunches. Welcome back. It's now 7:26. We want to give a shout out this morning to a fine young man who took a tour yesterday with Mark and myself around the station. His name is Jayton Branscombe.
Oh, Jayton.
These are the pictures on our Fox 4 Instagram page from Jayton's visit. He's 8 years old. Jayton is a huge fan of the Fox 4 morning show. He was born with Gorlin syndrome. It's a genetic syndrome that puts him at a really high risk of developing cancerous and non-cancerous tumors. He's had them on his jaw and the back of his head. So he gets treatment on a regular basis, and when he's in the hospital, he loves to watch the Fox 4 morning show. So he came for a tour yesterday, and we went walking through. He's like, hey, I know you. That's Nick Vassos. Hey, Nick. So he just walked over and put himself on the morning show in the 9 o'clock hour and took pictures with us. We had a great time.
I loved seeing him. He was a lot of fun. He was terrific.
It's hard to believe he's only 8 years old. He seemed like he was like 18 or something.
I agree. I agree.
His mom, Sharitha, and Tiana, rather, and his grandmother, Sharitha, set up the tour so he could come in between treatments. And we were so glad to meet you. He was a lot of fun. So, buddy, take care. Get well soon.
And come back and see us.
Yes.
7:27, Fox 4 Power Traffic. We have a couple things going on now and some slowdowns on the Missouri side now. We have a new wreck here and in a busy section of interstate. Southbound 435, right at 40 Highway. So just before I-70, where there is a lot of traffic in the morning at 435 and I-70, while also in the evening. And you'll notice here on our real-time maps that it's really beginning to stack up back towards 23rd Street. Live look outside, we can see it here, and it does appear that paramedics are on the scene here. Ambulance here, southbound 435. It looks like maybe 3 lanes are now getting by, so maybe a part of the wreck is on the ramp to westbound I-70. We'll keep an eye on it for you, but again, conditions backed up to 23rd Street. Over on the Kansas side, let's get a check of 435. We had a little fender bender down the road right about Quivira, and westbound 435 through the Johnson County Gateway project are running a little bit slower than it typically does in the morning. Nick Vassos working for you with Fox 4 Power Traffic.
Well, a Belton mother says she fears for her daughter's safety as she keeps getting harassing emails on her school-issued iPad. 13-year-old Kirsten Laughlin's a 7th grader at Belton Middle. Says she's getting the bullying emails from someone who hacked into other students' accounts. So it looks like those messages were coming from her friends.
This person was emailing, telling her she was fat, ugly, worthless. She should just go die. She shouldn't dance because she doesn't deserve any medals dancing. Just a lot of really mean, hurtful stuff.
School says it gives each email account a generic passcode so they can set it up as they like. Well, some of the students must have realized some of those passwords never got changed, and they took advantage of it.
Catholic Archbishop Joseph Naumann says he's learning on the job. He's overseeing 2 Catholic dioceses right now. The Archbishop of KCK is also serving as the temporary interim administrator for the Catholic Diocese of Kansas City, St. Joseph. That's after Bishop Finn resigned last week. Archbishop Naumann said he was stunned about his appointment, but he's ready to serve.
And as a priest or a bishop, when the church asks you to do something, is to say yes and to do your best to help.
He said he thinks it will take a while before Pope Francis appoints a new bishop for Kansas City, St. Joseph, but he'll be glad to serve in the interim job for as long as it takes.
A group of parents in the Shawnee Mission School District wants to know why a gym in good condition could be demolished. 9 years ago, they raised tens of thousands of dollars to build the gym at Briarwood Elementary. The rest of the school is going to be torn down and rebuilt, and the gym might go with it because it won't match. Parents say they're especially frustrated since the district told them just months ago the gym would stay.
It's very hard to fathom that a gym, that new of a gym in the condition it's in, would not be just a huge amount of money just right off the bat gone, should they choose to demolish it.
District says it wants to be sure the gym flows with the rest of the design of the new building, but they don't want to discourage parents either, so they're planning to meet with them Thursday.
From the station that's working for you, Mark Alford, Lauren Halifax, meteorologist Carly Ritter, and Nick Vassos with Power Traffic. You're watching Fox 4 News at 7:30 a.m.
Welcome back. Good to have you with us. I'm Mark Alford.
Good morning. I'm Lauren Halifax. 7:30 now. Meteorologist Carly Ritter's working on your full forecast, but here's a look at your day part today. Right now it's about 44 degrees out there. She says we're going to have some sunshine, 61 around noon, and by 4 this afternoon, 69, close to 70 degrees. It should be beautiful. Let's check on Fox 4 Power Traffic now. Here's Nick.
Newest accident coming into our assignment desk was Skyview at 108th or 108th and Skyview. That would be north of the river. So heads up there. We'll check on that one for you. Still have this accident working. Southbound lanes of 435, right about 40 Highway. Not a horrible backup. It's not quite back to 23rd Street yet. And it looks like first responders that were on the scene, many of them have departed the area. It looks like we have the tow truck here. And that's a pickup truck there that got into the absorption barrels that divide the ramp to I-70 and southbound 435. Also, motorist assist here helping with traffic control, and we do see paramedics remaining on the scene here, and you'll notice the hesitation southbound 435 as you approach the 40 Highway interchange. All right, over on the Kansas side, another check at the Johnson County Gateway project, and still seeing some slowdowns here for westbound traffic on 435, although the fender bender is now gone. Nick Vassos working for you with Fox 4 Power Traffic.
Firefighters have been working to put out fires all over the city of Baltimore overnight while you slept. The governor of Maryland's declared a state of emergency as the protests just got worse overnight. Demonstrators clashed with police officers. 15 police officers are hurt. 6 of them are seriously injured. This morning, schools are canceled across Baltimore and a curfew's in place for tonight. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, we'll have a live report from there.
Well, the man charged in the shooting deaths of 3 people at Jewish centers in Overland Park says he's now going to plead guilty. The Associated Press reports that Frazier Glenn Cross wants to avoid a lengthy trial and change his plea from not guilty to guilty. He's 74. He's charged with capital murder for the shooting deaths of 69-year-old William Corcoran, his 14-year-old grandson Reet Underwood. He's also charged with killing Terry Lamanno at the Village Shalom Retirement Complex. His attorneys haven't commented on this AP News report.
The National Guard is now on patrol in Baltimore after the night of violence.
Riot police are lining the streets after fire and looting overnight. Kim Burns is in our studio with the latest.
Yeah, we're going to give you a look at what's happening right now in Baltimore. As you said earlier, Lauren, the governor has declared a state of emergency there. Protesters attacked more than a dozen police officers overnight. This is the scene now. A curfew also goes into effect today. No one's going to be allowed on the streets from 10 o'clock at night to 5 in the morning. The violence started after thousands of people mourned the death of Freddie Gray. He died from a severe spinal injury that he allegedly suffered in police custody. His mom, though, says this is not the way to seek justice.
I want y'all to get justice for my son, but don't do it like this here. Don't tear up the whole city, man, just for him. It's wrong.
Police arrested more than 24 people. Look at this heart-stopping video from a security camera. It shows a driver coming just within inches, look at that, of mowing down 3 school children. This was in Washington State. The bus was stopped, the doors were about to open, and then you see the SUV just fly through there. Their moms all watching in shock. Luckily, no one was hurt. Witnesses say that SUV drove around several other vehicles stopped behind the bus, cutting through on the shoulder there. It happened too fast for anyone to get a license plate, so the person got away. But school officials say all the lights and the signs on the bus were working, and they say the bus driver did everything by the book. How many days a week do you work? For most of us, it's 5, right? Well, how would you like Fridays off?
That'd be good. How about Monday?
A new study finds that 4 in 10 companies are now offering employees 4-day work weeks. And those companies say productivity is up because of it. And they say it keeps the good, talented workers, the ones you want to stay on the job, it keeps those people.
It worked for Johnny Carson.
Yep.
Remember that? You'd always take Mondays off.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
actually.
that's right, Kim. You remember that?
That was back in the day, but I do that. It just came back.
I had a couple companies that gave people the choice. The employees had the choice, and that's what they voted for.
Yeah, you work a 10-hour day or so.
I like 4 or 5-hour days and Mondays off. How's that?
We would all like that.
Yes.
Mark.
Thanks, Kim. All right, how do you move 8,000 pounds of books? For workers at the Joco Library, the answer is very carefully.
It's more than 4 tons of books that need to be moved fast. It's part of a renovation project. Matt Stewart's live at 87th and Farley.
Good morning. Yeah, this is quite the challenge here at the Central Library with the Johnson County Library System. How do you move 138 shelves of books without taking all the books off? So look behind me. These are the shelves that they have to move because they are renovating this entire space, but they can't do that with all those books in place. So they have a very unique way of doing it, and I'm going to show you right here. This thing right here, this is called the Stackinator, and a little later on this morning, we're going to show you exactly how this works, but I want to bring in Michelle Olson. She is the circulation manager, and how do you even go about moving all these books, Michelle?
You hire wonderful movers. What they can do in a day would take us weeks to accomplish. It's amazing. It's about 200,000 items as you look around this building, and it's going to take Daniels approximately 5 days to move those. Thankfully, we have them because we want to make sure our patrons get back in here more quickly so we can get this building renovated so they can get back in and enjoy the library.
Any guess on how long it would have taken without this equipment?
My guess, with just we librarians moving all of these books and the shelves, it would have taken, I would say, at least 12 weeks.
Wow.
3 months,
like 3 months to move all these books. They're going to do it in a week.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Talk about the renovation itself. This is something that's long overdue for this branch.
It is. We haven't done anything in the past 20 years, and so we are looking to create more meeting spaces for our patrons. We're going to have a bigger maker space for our patrons to enjoy, and we're going to have a Friends of the Library bookstore within this location, which is wonderful.
How much weight are we talking about? Because these stacks of books are very, very heavy.
They are very heavy. And if you look at a stack length that we have here, they're approximately 21 feet long, 90 inches high. Each shelf weighs about 100 pounds. So we're talking about almost 5 tons of books just in one range of shelving.
Wow, those are some strong movers and some strong machinery. Now, coming up in our next hour, we're going to show the movers exactly what they do with this machine, the Stackinator. How do they hook this onto those shelves? How do they move it? We're going to show you all that coming up at 8:30. Until then, Matt Stewart, Fox 4 News, working for you live from Overland Park.
Thank you, Matt.
Baltimore's under a state of emergency right now after rioters filled the streets overnight, burning buildings and cars. We have a live report and a look at the damage now that it's daylight there.
Hey, we want to give you the yard of your dreams. All you have to do is watch Fox 4 News in the morning at 6 for the secret word, then enter it online at fox4kc.com/contest. We're giving away a lawnmower each week, a push lawnmower, and our grand prize is a new riding lawnmower, plus $5,000 to spend on getting a perfect yard or garden. Well, riots, fire, and violence against police in the streets of Baltimore led to the governor declaring a state of emergencies there. He's also called in the National Guard. 15 officers got hurt, 6 seriously. The unrest is over the death of Freddie Gray. He's a man who had a severe spinal injury while in police custody. He later died. His family held his funeral yesterday. Hours later, there was chaos. And this morning, we're getting a live look at the devastation. Fox's Joel Waldman is in Baltimore, joining us live with the latest. Joel, let's talk about what's going on there, the very latest. Okay, he's not quite ready just yet. Again, the governor has declared a state of emergency there. Earlier, the mayor of Baltimore said that they needed to give some of these protesters room, space to destroy. Now, yesterday, she tried to walk that back a little bit, trying to explain what she actually meant, but there was a lot of criticism over the way that this has been handled, very similar to what happened in Ferguson a couple of months ago or last fall here in Missouri. But the state of emergency has been declared. The governor has called out the national... Okay, now we're ready to go to Joel Waldman. Joel?
Pretty quiet scene out here. Some National Guardsmen out in front of City Hall at this hour, but a far cry from what we saw last evening. And they are expecting potential rioting again tonight. Protesters were about a mile and a half from here, west of the position that we're in right now, but they have brought in a substantial amount of new law enforcement, upwards of 5,000 new law enforcement officers here today to try to keep the violence at bay. Between 1,500 and 5,000 National Guardsmen, 500 state troopers were deployed as well, and the government now requesting about 5,000 additional policemen from neighboring states. Last night, 15 police officers were injured. We hear that 6 of them remain in the hospital this evening. The police commissioner urging parents to keep a close eye on their children and their fears right now that rival gangs could be targeting police officers.
All right, thank you very much. It's a weighty topic. Treating obese patients can be problematic for healthcare workers. A Kansas City-based company has come up with a way to make it safer and more comfortable for the patient. Carly?
And we're going to be talking about a beautiful stretch of weather ahead, 7:43 in the morning and 44 degrees. We'll be right back.
Here's the job of the day. How about a court clerk with the Circuit Court of Jackson County? For that job and others, go to fox4kc.com, click on there. You'll see the job of the day link there. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:46 in the morning. You're listening to a little Hey Soul Sister. We've got a really nice looking forecast to get you through for today. We'll have more sunshine, less cloud cover, and temperatures that will end up a few degrees warmer outside. 7:46 in the morning, downtown looking good. And your forecast headlines are really focused more on some quiet weather with a warming trend that's underway and highs that will slowly be climbing each and every day, eventually ending up in the 80s as we head towards the weekend. I expect rain to hold off until Sunday night, and it looks like as we kick off the month of May, going to get a little muggy, start to feel a little more summer-like outside. Not the case this morning, though. 46 in Wellsville, 42 Melbourne, 40 in Lawrence, 41 Excelsior Springs, Trenton at 44, Chillicothe 43, down towards Clinton. We're at 46 as well. Little bit of cloud cover this morning gave us a beautiful sunrise, and now we're starting to see those clouds break apart, although there's more cloud cover to our south that will try to rotate up. So areas south of I-70 at times could have their sunshine filtered out, but I think for the most part, it's going to shape up to be a really nice day with temperatures close to average, which is 70 degrees for our high this time of the year. Heading towards tonight, looks quiet, 10 p.m. through daybreak tomorrow, through morning rush tomorrow, looks quiet and relatively clear as well through 10 a.m. Then maybe a few clouds and maybe an isolated shower or two. That's about it for Wednesday. So much so that I think it's such a small chance I did not put rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Warmed us up through the upper 70s by Friday. Bumped us up into the 80s for the weekend, and then Sunday night into Monday as we start to cool back down. We'll have extra clouds and showers back for the beginning of next week. Nick?
7:48, and we got a big backup here on this morning's drive. A live look on the Missouri side of the southbound lanes of 435, right at 23rd Street. Traffic is backed up a little bit beyond 23rd Street, back towards Truman Road, because of this accident that we're going to show you here. And it looks like there's the pickup truck that got into the concrete divider here from the ramp to 40 Highway in southbound 435. Motorist assist out here, and a lane is blocked here. That's creating the backup almost to Truman Road. On the Kansas side in Bonner Springs, Kansas, we have this fender bender working southbound lanes of K7 past I-70. But as you can clearly tell, drivers here moving over, but no big delays over here in the Bonner Springs area, southbound on K7. Rest of the drive here includes a check of westbound I-70, a normal 24-minute run from Blue Springs into downtown. Southside traffic is pretty slow this morning, an 18-minute run from the Triangle over to I-35. Nick Vassos, Fox 4 Power Traffic.
And we're saluting the class of 2015. Today we honor Becky of Holden High School. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Love, Mom. If you want to honor a graduate in your life, just submit your send-off at fox4kc.com/seniors. Enter before May 7th for a chance to win a $450 gift card. Teacher in Cameron, Missouri is the cream of the crop.
He's now one of 4 teachers who are semifinalists in the running in a contest on Live with Kelly and Michael. If you want to help him win the grand prize, there's still time. People packed the football field in Don Harrison's honor yesterday. He teaches kindergarten up at Parkview Elementary. Isn't that great? He's a married father of 2. He's been teaching 21 years, and he spends his summers and weekends helping people as an EMT and volunteer firefighter. So he became a candidate for the top teacher contest on the Kelly and Michael show. He's made it to the top 4. So next week, the week of May 4th, they're going to feature each one of the teachers, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, you can vote, and America gets to pick the winner. He says regardless of how it turns out, he feels lucky.
I'm honored to be nominated. You know, no matter what happens in the end, I think that Monday I come back to the best job in the world and some of the coolest kids.
Those stories of the top 4 teachers will be featured again next week, May 4th through 7th, and then you can vote on Thursday, the 7th, and they'll name the winner Friday. To vote for Mr. Harrison, look for the link on fox4kc.com.
Kansas City-based company says it has a new hospital bed for obese patients. It automatically moves the patient up in the bed. When caregivers do it manually, they risk hurting their back, shoulder, or neck. The new bed from Sizewise Worldwide moves the sheet and patient up with the press of a button.
And the sheet glides up into a drive unit, and it wraps in a circle into the drive unit, and you have about 8 to 10 repositionings.
The new bed cost about $11,000. Each of the special sheets about $85. Those in favor of it say it could cut down on workman's comp claims. Too much TV is not only bad for your child's brain, it's bad for their waistline. It's according to new research from a pediatrician group. The study found as little as 1 hour a day increased a child's obesity risk. They followed more than 11,000 kindergartners and first graders and found that if they watch an hour or more a day, they had a higher body mass index. That's compared to those who just watch 30 minutes or less. Researchers say most American kindergartners watch 3.5 hours of TV each day. Experts now call for new guidelines on TV viewing.
The federal government's advising cities to lower the fluoride levels in the public water supply. This change is the first in 50 years. It's considered a precaution. The Department of Health and Human Services says it wants to make sure Americans aren't getting too much fluoride. In the right amount, it's important for dental health, but it's already available in some fresh foods, and officials say a lot of people are getting it in dental products like mouthwash and toothpaste. Too much can cause spots on your teeth. Water systems nationwide have been adding it since 1962. A really smart firefighter had his ducks in a row when his crew got a rescue call. We'll show you how he helped save some baby ducklings stuck in a drain.
It's Fox 4's Thank You Tuesday. Get a free 12-ounce coffee with purchase at Parisi Cafe. Search Parisi at fox4kc.com for details.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:55 in the morning, 44 degrees outside, and we have a beautiful start to our Tuesday. Little cool, so grab the jacket as you head outdoors, but plan for some warmer weather, and we'll talk about how warm it's going to get coming up.
Well, a woman made a pretty amazing find at a state park down in Arkansas. Susie Clark found a nearly 4-carat white diamond last week when she was visiting Crater of Diamonds State Park. Check it out. It's about the size of a pinto bean. It's the largest diamond found at the park in more than a year. People have found more than 75,000 diamonds there in the last 100 years. The park's the only place in the world where visitors get to keep what they find. Finders keepers.
A duck call ringtone helped a Louisiana firefighter rescue 6 ducklings out of a storm drain. Took him about an hour and a half to catch the baby ducklings. He got the first 4 out of there, and the others were a little freaked out running from him, so he rescued the 2 others about an hour later after he gave them a chance to calm down. And then all the babies were reunited with their mother. Saturday's rescue was that fire station's 2nd duck rescue in a week. A few days before, they helped a duck that got stuck in a chimney.
Do you use emojis on your phone? When you
I
text
don't, but
people?
lots of people do.
You don't?
Not real, no.
Oh,
Do
little
you do?
smiley faces?
Once in a, I guess a smiley face, but there are lots more than that. People are using these worldwide, and a new survey shows how we are feeling about using these. SwiftKey released a new emoji study this week. All right, the ones that Americans love the most, the American flag, guns, and pizza symbols.
Guns, yeah.
The United States uses more LGBT emojis than any other country, and more crowns. We're not ruled by a king or queen, but we're twice as royal as British emoji users. Italians tend to blow the kisses the most often.
Now you got my curiosity up. What's an LGBT emoji?
Go look.
Okay.
I don't know. Fox 4 News at 8 is going to be here right after this at 7:57
I'll stick to my
now.
smiley face, I think.